Everyone, I hope that you're doing well, and thank you so much for joining me in this video. Thank you so much for requesting for this video on my Instagram. If you have not following me there already, please join me. If you don't have kids, this video might be of interest for you if you're planning to have kids, or if there are some kids in your family. These things that I'm going to mention could be great gifts. So the very first book that I wanted to recommend, and especially if you have a child who is about to start reception or the first year of school, wherever you are in US it can be called the kindergarten, and even pre-K. This book is great. This book does have stories, so let me give you a closer look. That is a Strawberry Farm Phonics book, and the one that I have here is stage 1. And why this book is so much loved by me and my kids is because it's very versatile. So my daughter started reading with this book, and she is still reading it when she is on level 4 and 5 of reading. So she can independently now read small stories by herself. But this book, first of all, has very funny stories. It's great for kids, they are laughing. But what I wanted to mention about it is that it has text like this, okay? So you can see there are some red words in the book, and those are short CVC words, and you can teach your kids to read by just reading the black words by yourself and making them read the red ones. And how we started is just by spelling out the sounds. So r-a-t, rat, okay? So then you read and b-at, bat. We're playing with Freddy Fox at Strawberry Farm, okay? And they like to get involved in that. Then they also have a very nice game here on the bottom. So it asks kids to find these short CVC words, and also I ask my kids to count how many times they are repeated. At the very back of each story you will see the list of words that are mentioned in the story, and that slowly they can learn to read. And as time goes by, you can involve other words like no, food. That's easy for them to learn, and slowly they start reading more and more words. Now we are at the point where my daughter doesn't even have any issues to read words such as suggested. Okay, so this book, if you invest in it, will definitely last quite a long time. And here is the back. You can stop the video and see what it's all about. Next book that I wanted to quickly mention is a little book of manners, and it's Courtesy and Kindness for Young Girls, and it's written by Emily Barnes. It's a lovely book. So I have this one for my little girl. She is 6 years old, she just turned 6, and I purchased this one as well. There is the same one for boys. These books are absolutely lovely. In this book there is a girl who is going through certain practical situations, and she is being taught how to behave. It is really lovely to read this book with your little child because it teaches them basic courtesy and basic manners. And also, to be honest with you, it's good for the adults. For example, let me show you this. This is something that even adults can learn if they don't know the specifics. It says, and I quote, "It's polite to introduce younger people to older ones and introduce boys to girls. That means that I say the older person's or the girl's name first. Miss Klein, this is my friend Christine. Or Aileen, this is Bradley Joe. Another thing that I wanted to mention that really helped me to teach my little one read before she started school, it's this book. It's called Teach Your Child to Read in 100 Easy Lessons. And let me just show you. So at the beginning you have lots of instructions for parents, and I do recommend that you read it. This is the lesson number 1, and you can see that in red text is what you're supposed to be saying to your child. And first, for example, it starts with just recognizing the sound. So you would ask them to put their finger on this little dot and say right? Say long. They will put their little finger and say a long sound. And if you want a short sound, you just say m. And it moves on to much more difficult parts of reading. And it's great. I definitely recommend doing it every day with your child, and you will see they will begin to read easily. Next book, it's a brilliant book, and it's called The Children's Book of Virtues. It has lovely illustrations. I love the illustrations that are this type of like old style. And one of my favorite ones is at the very beginning, and it is about the courage and perseverance. And let me give you a quote. This a lesson you should heed. Try again. If at first you don't succeed, try again. Then your courage should appear. For if you will persevere, you will conquer. Never fear. Try again. End quote. So this is a lovely book. It has beautiful stories, and I think that this book withstood the test of time. I think it's brilliant, and I definitely recommend it. I will leave a link in my description box for you so you can find these books. Next thing is this Osborne Picture Atlas. It's great if you have little ones who are learning about the world. I feel that kids are very curious, and they want to know about the world. So this book is brilliant. It has flips like that, so the kids can read all the information, or you can read it for them. For example, last lesson that we had was Antarctica. And it's great also if they are at school, you can support them as well. So after we've read about Antarctica, we found that there is this Ross Island, and that it has a active volcano. So we watched a documentary on YouTube about this particular active volcano. Then we found out that there are marathons that are run in Antarctica, and they are very challenging. There are some people who ran 7.5 hours in marathons. So it's lovely to know what kind of animals live there. It's really a good starting point if you want to teach your kids about the world. It's brilliant. Okay, next thing is obviously Encyclopedia, and my kids love it. We sometimes just randomly open a page and decide what we're going to read about. So for example, if this was one of the days we choose to read it, we would look at the documentaries about the storms and clouds. We would find out how clouds form. We will try to make our own clouds out of the cotton balls. We will make them thin and thick. We will try to soak it in water and make it rain, and all sorts of things. So these kind of books are great starting points to elaborate and to give a deeper lesson about the surroundings and about the world around them. Next book I wanted to mention is Children's Encyclopedia about animals, and this is great. I mean, knowing about other species, how they live, what are the special things. It's great. Oh, my daughter really liked watching documentaries about bees, and there is also a Netflix movie, Bees or something like that. They also loved watching it. So this also helps to give you some ideas as where to take your child, what to do with them next. Next book that I'm going to mention is more for people who are immigrants. They chose to live in another country and they want to remind their children where they come from, their traditions, and just make them feel more rooted. And even if you live in America, you can still buy a book about American traditions and history and things like that. So my husband is from Pakistan, and I bought this book for my daughter. It's called Welcome to Pakistan, and it has lovely stories about the country, the landscapes, and the animals that are there, what people do there, and things like that. So I feel that this helps them to be more connected to their roots. Another book that my daughter particularly loves is this Guide to Birds, and as you can see, it's worn out quite a bit because she loves birds watching, and she loves reading about the birds, and we often then draw them or paint them. We look at all the different little features that the bird has, different shades of their feathers, and then we try to make realistic drawings. So I think that here is my favorite bird. Myra tried to draw this one for me. I think teaching your child about the nature brings out from them very loving and caring nature. And the last book is this book, and it's called 365 Outdoor Activities. I personally love forest schools, and this is great ideas for forest school and things that you can do with your kids at home, different ways to explore nature and really make their imagination grow, you know, things that they can do themselves and things that they can find in nature. I think that these are the best toys to play with. So these are the books that I recommend you if you have small kids, and I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you want me to make a video on educational toys, do let me know, and if you have any other video requests in regards of kids, maybe books about parenting, I don't know, let me know what do you want to see next. And thank you so much for your time, and I'll see you in my next video soon. Bye bye for now.